second daughter, who just turned 10, got hers. Isaiah's my boy, he's 9, he's running around with the old ones, right? They're not connected, but he's running around, right? These phones are part of their lives, right? They can't do anything without them. And in fact, they're driving older generations to get into them, right? Because when Grandma found out that my oldest daughter was texting the aunties because they could text back and forth, Grandma went out that day and got an iPhone and learned how to text because she wanted to be part of those conversations. We're addicted to our phones, okay? Sensors. Anybody have Fitbit? Joe, okay, we got a few people in here, right? Fitbit or jawbone, the new sensors, the Apple Watch coming out, these are wearable technologies, right? This is stuff that you're going to have on your body that's actually pulling data from it that you're okay with and putting it up on the internet. You're giving companies amazing access into what happens to your lives. Why? Why is the people with Fitbits, why do you do it? Personal health. You want it to be healthier. You want knowledge about how your sleep patterns are, what you're putting in your body, nutrition, how your heart beats for, right? They're building all sorts of stuff into clothing now, right? That'll monitor. And in fact, a funny one is, well, not too funny, but they have bras now that can sense when they're getting pulled, and they'll give them electric shock. They'll knock a sailor off of a person. Thank God I didn't have that when I was right? So, sensors are crazy, right? That's how my wife actually does. Big data. You guys heard of big data? Mm-hmm. What is big data? Is it that vague term that marketers like to use and throw around? Tons of information. We're putting tons and tons of information out there. What it is this separate data in different databases being matched up together to show trends. Probably the biggest story, you guys hear the Target story? Yeah. Right, where basically they busted the daughter that was pregnant because they kept sending diaper coupons to the dad and the family, right? Wow. Big story going on here, but that was Target hired a psychologist, psychologist guy, that could actually understand the trends. And if you start buying these kind of things at Target using your red card, we're going to start sending you coupons of these type things. Because this is a major event in your life that you're preparing for. And in fact, I would have loved it back then because then I wouldn't have had to dig through all the Sunday papers to find out what things, right?
But you know the problem, they gather all this information from the bad guys to steal it.
I know, my Home Depot thing just...
You got it.
Target got me over Christmas and Home Depot just got me now. Yes. Have a microphone and you're going to have to yell. Microphone thing, Mark is involved. Hey, Mark. You know what he's doing? Looking at his phone. There we go. Right here. There you go.
I worked for an advertising and marketing company for about 6 years, and the banner advertising programs where you go into the internet and as soon as you put in a keyword, retargeting, so it follows you everywhere. So
yep. Probably the most effective digital advertising right now. Yeah, if you want to track people and get them, retargeting is very, very effective.
Isn't there also browsers like Start Page and others that keep your identity, keeps your IP address secret and your trend, your search is private also.
Yeah.
So they're not trackable.
Right. So there's a couple of different search engines that have actually started up doing that. What is it? DuckDuckGo. Yeah, and he's actually got quite a few searching, but you know what people are using those for.
I have a question. When I shop for motorcycle tires, I get a bunch of emails. You know, when I Google it, I get a bunch of emails or ads in my LinkedIn and in my
those are good ads. Those are off the keywords. Yeah, they're retargeting you.
Is that what that is?
That's retargeting. Yeah, highly effective.
Targeted because if I'm already looking at something and I'm already a customer, I don't want to keep getting ads about something I'm already loyal to, so now I can feel.
And that's because the machines are so stable, right? They don't really know what you're trying to do right then. Are you willing to give up your personal information so much to let them go with that, and whatever you're thinking of is where you're going to go, right? You know, Google actually has a patent for knowing where your eyeball is when it's looking at the screen.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
Because they basically, now, I want to get into, because we're really close to this. We're going to get into some crazy stuff that's happening right now, but Google Maps versus Apple Maps. Who uses Apple Maps? Anybody? Yeah, it's on your iPhone. Why would you do that? Those things are horrible. They'll run you in the bad place. Yeah, Apple Maps suck. Google Maps, very, very effective in knowing where you are and how to work, right? But Apple continues to push for Apple Maps. Why? They want to know where you are. Why? So they can sell you stuff. If they know your GPS location and you're willing to give it up for their iPhone, right? There's actually Apple ads in there turned on. They don't use it yet, but they will, right? That's why Apple's going after this map.
Have you heard of Waze? W-A-Z.
I love Waze.
Me too.
Just don't do it while you're driving by yourself, right? Because you run over stuff.
What is it?
Waze.
A-Z-E.
I know, I love that part. So, if you're not using Waze, you're really missing out because it's just like Google Maps, except we're all talking to each other, so you know where the cops are, you know where the cars are. What is this?
Wait.
You can see other people driving.
Don, you know where the cops are, so you can swerve to avoid them, so you don't hit them, right?
You know what though, Waze is awesome because when people start slowing down and having traffic, it automatically gives that real-time feedback, and Waze will reroute you around anything, right?
It's a great guy.
So it's better. And guess who just bought it? Guess who just bought it? Google. Google bought Waze. So it'll be part. So a friend of mine told me this once. He said, we're not really putting ourselves into the internet. It's absorbing us. Right? Everything we're doing is going straight into the machine. This is the Matrix kind of talking stuff. And we're right at the beginning of it. Okay? Voice activation. How many of you guys talk to your phone? A few, right? Why don't you talk to her more? Because she's a bitch. She's not nice. She's
Siri.
right? But she's getting better.
Siri.
Smart. Right? Cortina?
Yeah, that's the new one.
Is she Spanish?
She's Android.
Oh my gosh, somebody has a Windows Phone. Why is voice activation so important? It'll get better, but why is it so important?
Hands off. Hands off.
Hands off.
Faster.
Hands off.
Hands off.
Hands off, why? Right, because what do?
The typing.
We run into people, right? When we're looking around the phone, we run into things. When we're driving our cars, we run them off the road. It's because we're looking down at our phones. We want voice activation. But there's another thing that we do when we talk to things versus what we're typing.
If they understand.
I think what different is not just absorbing the general public as the internet, but also absorbing the companies that work in the internet environment. Because it forces them to constantly be pushing the envelope in order to remain
That's why we're
competitive.
showing this. This is
Right.
why I'm trying to get you guys to like, hey, if we're not doing the digital stuff, we're screwed. So the big thing here though, right, with voice activation, is you tell that machine a lot more information than you would if you were typing. Because in typing, we're just trying to go, okay, what's the least amount of words that I can actually stick in this thing and make it do what I want it to do. But when you're talking to it, you'll be like, blah, 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 blah. You're telling everything about yourself. And that's what Google wants, right? That's what the search engines need to track you better. Glass. Anybody seen these glass holes?
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Guess what I am. Okay. So, okay, glass. Take a picture. And turn it off.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
glass.
good
Take a
It's
picture.
expensive.
Yeah. How about this? Just took another picture.
For real?
Okay. All voice activated. What is this?
This is the Google.
Pass it around.
It's a Google.
The Google.
What is this?
Wow.
Spyware. Right? Amy.
You can record.
Amy led the majority of people. They do not like, I don't wear this thing anymore because I was already staring it up before. This is much, much worse than my face. It's intimidating. You don't know what's going on. What is this thing doing? It's like having a phone in front of your face all the time. But you know what this thing is? This is Michael Douglas walking down the beach in Wall Street. a small car, on the side of his head, right? This is the first one. You think you're gonna get smaller? Do you think you're already gonna have more contact with this? Yeah, they do. So when these things get cool, right, they get smaller. Is everybody gonna be walking around with one of them?
Hopefully not.
Possibly. So I taught a class of sixth graders, had these things on, right? Of course, all one of them. Do you think a single one in that room didn't want these things? They all raised their hand. They all had to try one, and you guys had to try one. So I'll pass it around the room. You can't use them with glasses, so you have to take your glasses off. I'm going to show you real quick how they work. Put them on, they'll turn on, and you can say, okay, glass. Okay, glass, take a picture. And it'll do that. And then you can slide back and forth. Please don't send anything, this is on my network. You can slide back and forth and you'll see everything I'm connected to. It gets your email, it gets phone calls, it gets all that kind of stuff. It's all Bluetooth to your phone, and it is a computer. Okay? They're $1,500 right now, so they're way out of range. But
Wow.
this is where things are going, right? This is one of my farmers where, can you imagine like running around the farm and being able to be hands-free? What about yourselves at work being hands-free?
New gadget.
Not having to pull that phone.
This is one place.
You may think that thing's
Maybe
right
3
there,
years.
but it's not really, it's kind of off.
2 years, I was.
That's kind of okay.
2 years it's been out?
2 years.
The Internet of Things. That's the big thing happening right now. What are we doing? What do you think is online that aren't people? Because for a long time now, we've been just trying to get people online. That's been the big thing. Let's get everybody online.
Why how come it's not popular?
Get online. And they can talk to you. But now it's going to be our devices.
2,000?
Right? Fitbit.
Now it's
Right?
100.
How about
1,500
our
maybe.
homes?
It's unbelievable.
Right? You know what Nest is? Nest controls your thermostat. They're also getting into fire and smoke. Google bought Nest for $3.2 billion. Do you think they'll give it away for free? Oh, I bet they will. Why wouldn't they? Because all of a sudden, they'll have all the data of your house. Every insurance company would love to know what actually goes on inside your house. When you're done. Right? Wouldn't it be
They said pass around.
possible?
Yeah, wait.
Which windows are up? Are you being burglarized? All of this information, Google's loving that. I love talking about the camera fridge too. Because it's out right now. It's a way to make your it's a way to make your refrigerator like $3,000.
Take my
But it's
picture.
got a webcam in it. So you don't, when you're at the grocery store, you don't even know, you don't even worry about what's actually in the fridge. You just pull it up on your phone and you can see inside. And the worst thing for the guys is it actually takes a photo every time you open it up. Right? Yeah. Who stole the last one?
Can you take my picture later when I try it on?
Google's a technology company. They're in search. What are they doing around cars?
Are you cross-eyed? Isn't that insane?
Drivers.
Picture glass.
I know where you go. I like that.
This is out of control.
What are we really
No,
doing?
no, like this.
Let me see.
We're really good at running intelligence with cars. We suck at traffic coordination. Right?
No, no. You think like this. No, like this.
Those things don't have steering wheels. They don't have pedals.
Right?
I want to try
You
it.
need to put like this.
And they go.
Oh, this is good.
How many accidents has it had? None.
Take my picture, please. Okay.
After you take
It depends on what
picture of the video.
Glass.
it's not possible yet.
Picture. Video. Picture.
Yeah.
That's the seatbelt in the future. You just can't drive.
Yeah.
Glass.
They're always doing liabilities. They're always doing.
How about side view?
Have you guys seen 3D printing?
¿Cuánto vale? Yo nunca saco la foto.
3D printing is really freaking interesting in what they're doing. That's going to change manufacturing as we know it. Right? Making guns at home.
Video.
Video.
Exactly. It's huge concern for all of us. Bullets can be made out of plastic.
Foto. Foto video.
Science is said to implant a device to preserve experiences in our brains. What are they doing here? This is at USC, right? Wake Forest. They're sticking implants in the back of our heads, being able to suck the memories out of people that have problems like Alzheimer's, right? Are they going to go through major brain surgery? Let's suck all the memories out of our brain and put back in. Why wouldn't we just save our brains in the cloud? I know we're getting the weird movie stuff, but where do you think this stuff is going? And we're worried about websites, and I'm worried about a mobile phone, and you're worried about social media. Where are we going? You think you should master digital now? Right? Future of brain implants?
Well,
Oh my God.
I'm a neuroscientist by training. We have spent the entire decade of the 90s, spent billions and billions of dollars, and we made little progress in understanding how the brain works.
Oh, yes.
You know, unless we begin to decipher just the basic function of the brain, this year, of all the things we can think of, this is pie in the sky. It will take many, many generations to get to it. You know,
Understand how it works, but I bet you we can screw around and suck stuff out of it before we realize how it's working. We're really good at messing up and fighting.
Yeah, it's much easier to put visual input or all your input into the brain than to extract information from the brain.
Right. These Google Glass, where are they? Going right here.
Right.
It doesn't have a speaker.
Right.
It uses bone induction. Read it here.
Can you email to me? On my phone. 231.
But it's good to talk about.
I'm just showing you, like right now,
Eight
we're
oh
still
one.
outside here.
231.
The computers are still outside us, but it won't.
3338.
And that's what I'm saying.
801.
231, no? What is this? Yeah, again.
No, 801.
Oh.
801.
2005, that's all I did was stuff.
01.
Oh my gosh, look at what's coming.
No,
And now social media is
801.
very hot and heavy. I don't have to say that anymore.
231.
They don't have to be in it. Now I'm saying, this stuff's next.
3338.
So I understand now that in the future we don't need a computer any longer, everything is going to be done by the smartphone.
So I'm sorry.
In the future we don't want to use the computer any longer, it's going to be, everything is going to be done by smartphones.
Well, I talked about mine, I think the small phones are going to be inside. I think that they're going to figure out ways to, where it's just going to be part of it.
Or iChannel, it's going to be done by, it's one idea that by smartphones or iChannel, something like that.
It's funny, I understand. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to switch to what works right now. We have, what time is it?
Got about 25 minutes.
25 minutes, great. Okay, blogging. Still the number one way to be able to control your reputation online. Okay? If you're going out and you're Googling yourself and you can't find yourself, or you're finding bad stuff about you, you need to start a blog. You start a blog about your name and what you're doing, and it will start ranking high for yourself, right? But you gotta be consistent. So at your home on the web, it can be done for free. There's tons of tools out there that can do this. Search engines still love blogs. They're easy to do, they give you a personality, you get comments and feedback, and you can build inbound links. Now, are you going to blog? That's tough. Blogging is probably the hardest thing to do when it comes to social media. And almost all the social media gurus and experts out there will tell you, if you're not blogging, you're not going to be found. To me, you don't have to blog. But if you really want to move the needle on being found and having a reputation, I recommend it. Okay, we're going to go through just real quickly things that you need to know about blogging. Oh, my picture's gone. Be clear about who you are and how you can help. That's one of those social media secrets where you should always be helping people. always be helpful, right? And that's what you're going to drop on your blog. You need to write a lot. Used to be back in the day, I think it's still here. Used to be back in the day, you could write 300 to 500 like paragraphs, like 500 word paragraphs, and stick them on there, and that'd be enough. Nowadays, the ones that are getting a lot of traction are actually long. 2,500 articles, 2,500 word articles are actually being seen and read a lot longer. Can you blog inside of LinkedIn? Yeah, they just started. Is it effective? I would argue that it just started inside of LinkedIn, and you could be an early adopter right now if you jumped in. Because a lot of people would see it. Because there's not a lot of people writing in LinkedIn yet. They just released it. So you could be one of those people that jump in first on a network that's already pretty well established. Over 300 million members inside of LinkedIn, 100 million inside of the United States, 200 million outside of the United States. That's a huge global reach. LinkedIn. Add visuals, which I don't have.
Do you need a professional profile to blog on LinkedIn? Do you need a profile to blog on LinkedIn?
You don't need a pro account. You just need to be able to have a a profile. Once you have a profile, there's a special link, and I can give it to you, or you can Google it right now and find it. And it's basically just LinkedIn blogging. It'll jump you to their little blog post about it, and you click on that, and you'll go. And what you do have to have, though, is 2 examples of writing you've done on the internet to put in there, 2 URLs. So if you've ever guest blogged or put an article up, that's all they need. Add visuals, which I have none. So see how effective that is? Select your domain. I want you to have your name. Right? If your name is taken, get something close to it. Those keywords are going to be very effective and you being found. Right? Don't share my name. Select your technology. How many people consider yourselves technology illiterate? Illiterate. Like I don't know how to blog. I don't want to know how to blog. I'm illiterate blogging. If you want to blog, go to Tumblr. You can do 4 things. That's it. It's probably one of the most effective blogging tools out there for reaching young people. Okay? Tumblr's very, very easy to use. For the more advanced people, I recommend WordPress. By far the best blogging tool out there. You can add lots of plugins to it, and it will, you can customize it down to anything. Building legit source code for blogging. But the most blogs are built with WordPress right now.
You can also use it to create websites. Great website.
Oh, yeah.
That's not intention, but that.
No, you can create websites.
WordPress.
Yeah. The only thing is security. So you gotta be real careful with that. Paul.
You better post it on Facebook.
No, en
Yes.
my page.
Oh, your page.
So that's a good question. So you have your own website, and it's sitting out there, and it has your name, and it's pretty, it's Paul. Hey, I'm Paul. But if you're not putting content continually out there, it's going to slowly die. Right? If you haven't changed it in maybe a year or 2, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and other things will start outranking it. Right? And it'll get outdated. So my recommendation is to have a blog on your personal website if you can. And you can always add WordPress into like you could have paul.com/blog. That's perfect. As long as that website is built. Now, if you get blog.paul.com, that's a 3rd level domain, and it doesn't work that way. That's a whole different website.
It's cool. It's cool.
On the website, yeah. Make sure it's uploaded into the system. You can't use one of those. You can only use WordPress. That's the only one that I'll upload into your site. Blogspot won't work, Tumblr won't work, because those are outside sites. Call to action. What is the call to action on your personal website? Order what? Where do you have to order from? Are you about products and service? This is your personal website. I'm talking about personal branding. I'm not worried about your business. I'm talking about your personal branding. This is my personal website. I'm controlling my personal, professional life on the internet. What is your call to action on your website? Yes, Robert? So you want them to listen to you on some, YouTube or SoundCloud?
And everything was daily life, business, and personal. Anything that I bring, any comment, any thoughts in my head, put it there, people will say their comments.
Okay. That's one way to do it. What's your call? Here's my thing. You visited my website, and I want you to connect with me. You visited my website, I want you to connect with me. Right? You took the time to sit down on my website and look through it. I want you to link up with me, to give me your email address, to anything that I can start a relationship with you. Because if all you do is drive them to maybe something that's passive, right? Hey, just read my blog. I don't want to connect. I don't want to do anything, right? They'll read it and they'll walk off. What do people want most of all whenever they're on the internet? Information's good, but they want to be able to do something. Yeah. People are always looking for what to do. When they hit your website, they're like, where should I go? What should I do? Where should I be at? Well, back in the day when I was building websites back in the late 90s, we would call users monkeys. And you'd always put the banana where the monkey could find it. You know, so here's the banana, the monkey run out and grab it. Don't make it too hard to connect.
But the fact of the evolution of the web. When the first was websites before by your company, by you. Now people got it more than enough information. Now you can go to the next step, which is a call to action, to whatever that action might be. Eventually do something else. I mean, we don't know where it goes.
I would always say that the call to action is always going to be necessary. I don't know.
But we don't know what is next.
So, if a call to action, this is your own personal website.
My personal website.
Is a social issue announced or a call to action or like?
You mean you're driving people to go sign up for something?
Yeah, gun control or.
I don't think that's any problem. I would rather them connect with me and then me send them an email newsletter about gun control, right? Versus go do gun control and then don't come back to me. Right? Because then you drove them away. And what's the least amount of what work you can do on a cause? To like it, right? I think it's so funny how these causes are like, we got 50,000 signatures on the internet. That is this. You know what? That's the least amount people can do. You know, like getting them to actually donate money and be a part of the cause, that's big. Design. Are any of you designers? Then don't design your own website. Stop it. Because it'll look like that on the bottom. Right? Don't do that. That hurts people's eyeballs. Right? Make it nice and clean. If anything, take examples from where the media is going. Big photos, little bit of text. You know, they carve it into like, it just flows because it's going to flow on an iPad. All right?
I don't compare that with the newspaper. New York Times, Washington Post. And it's the opposite of what you're saying.
No. Those are big ones. But when you go into the actual article, they'll blow that article out. I'm not talking about the homepage. Because their homepages are crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I'm talking about like if you see like when you actually go to the article, make it clean. And it'll say a lot about your brand. Right? You have a crappy logo on your brand, what's it do? It hurts your brand, right? You need a nice clean script. Don't use Comic Sans. Oh my gosh, don't use Comic Sans. Nobody's doing that, right? Add other content. So make sure your About page has a lot of information on it, right? About you. Make a schedule. Keep it. This is actually a plugin inside of WordPress where you can do an editorial calendar. Should you schedule it into your work calendar? Why? Why would you not do that? Because if you don't do it, it doesn't get done, does it? Because whatever you schedule inside your work calendar is the stuff that actually happens. That your email. And email almost always operates at work schedule. Link to your social media and your email. So like whenever you put your email out, so here's mine, Senior Vice President, Digital Initiative, Dairy Management. I've got our company website and then my blog right below it. Right? Because the funny thing is, what people do is they start blogging and then they don't share it. Remember, we're all not being exposed to it. You gotta get that information out there. Set up your analytics so you know what's going on. And then use your network to drive it. So you write a blog post, where you're going to share that. Social media, very good. Gives you actually something to say besides what you got to do, right? Here are my thoughts on the world. Tips and tricks. Help others. Talk about others. Link to others. Notice how many others are in there. Why? They share stuff. You know one of those sneaky little marketing tricks out there? Write about other digital marketers. They love it. Their egos get big. And what do? They share it. Write about people with big egos, they will share it.
It's guaranteed traffic, constantly, whatever you're writing, like that you're linking to theirs. They want to see what you're writing to yours.
That's how it all works. Yep. But so many people, what they do is they just write a blog post. Here's my thoughts on the world, put no call to action. They don't end it with a question to actually ask for anybody's opinion. And then they don't share everyone else. And then they wonder why nobody comes to their blog. I don't know. Because you can tell everybody. I really like using Google's autocomplete to work headlines. You guys ever done that? You know what Google's autocomplete is? Like when you start typing in Google and it starts adding all those words down there. Put your topics in there. See what pops up. Because those are the top searches that are happening in real time right then through Google. They're telling you what people are looking for. Not many people do that. They just, here's another funny thing. Oh, we got it. How much time should you spend on a headline?
How much time should you spend?
Like if you're writing out a blog post, you spent an hour writing a blog post, and it's beautiful, and it's 3 pages long, or 3 paragraphs long, and you've got 3 pictures. How much time should you spend on that headline?
That should be more.
You're right. It's half the time it's meant to write that blog post. Half an hour on the single headline. Why?
Because it's got to capture us.
You got to capture people, right? Most people read. There's no marketing secret. Put it in a question. Why? Because people are using Google to search questions. You don't put it in a question form, people can ignore it. Why was God not so successful? It's a question. Gotta know. Can your brain shut off the question? No, not really. It always has to answer it, whether you want it to or not. It likes questions. It answers them. A statement, I'm the coolest person in the world. You can totally ignore it. Right? Read other people's blogs and comment on them. I can't believe people get mad about no comments on their blogs and they've never commented on anybody else's stuff. You think this doesn't work both ways? Social media. What time we got?
We're about 20 after.
20 after? Okay.
There's a microphone about 18.
I'm just worried about getting into it and then getting busted up.
Well,
you know what? Maybe I'll just do the tips and tricks on LinkedIn, and then tomorrow, you bring your laptops. We're going to dig in. Okay? You're actually going to change your profile. If you have a crappy photo, we'll take a little pretty one tonight. Go to the bar. Right? Beautiful area around here.
We'll follow him.
Everybody's got smartphones. Right?
Yeah.
Free drink. Mike, do you have free drink coupons?
So you guys okay with this? We'll get into tips and tricks right now on LinkedIn. And then tomorrow, be prepared. Come in, logged in to your LinkedIn profiles, get ready to edit. And we're going to talk about how each thing is going to work in LinkedIn. And we're going to hit LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and if I get farther, we'll hit on maybe Instagram and a few others. Okay? We'll hit on the video right now. Follow your question? Okay. Good. LinkedIn. Okay. By far the easiest to maintain. LinkedIn is your resume, right? Not hard to, pretty easy. Right? Should you connect with somebody you don't know on LinkedIn? I love this question because this is going to make the room all rowdy.
No.
Yes. Absolutely.
Look, wait, we gotta know one yes. Jump up, let's go.
I got my business class by LinkedIn.
What were you doing?
I LinkedIn with somebody I didn't know, I wanted to connect, and sent me a message back, saying I'll link that to those you know.
Because that guy paid you?
I don't.
The guy you're gonna link up to? Got that?
No, he's a good neighbor, did it, so.
Well, the other
Yeah,
the other person marked you as.
Yeah. Diversity consultant.
You gotta be careful with that. I'm talking more about when people try to link up with you. Instead of being that guy, that slap guy.
Just met them, just met one person, absolutely don't know them, or like just a cold call?
A cold call kind of thing. Somebody cold calls you out of nowhere. That's very different. That's very different. If you don't link up with that, you're mean.
For example, I found my job at different social media through LinkedIn. That's how I found my job. And the people that I requested, most of them I do not know. However, they're all involved in the
Yep.
and I get accepted.
Yep.
Now, if I were to request somebody who is in a completely different field than mine, I don't know that I'll get accepted.
Yeah, you like to slap that.
Right.
Exactly. So strategic, kind of.
Be strategic. When you look at somebody's profile, right, you're going to look through it to see if they're an actual person, right? I want to see a picture. I want to see a job history. I want to see recommendations. I want to see if they've done things. And then there's a good possibility I'll link up with you. Be careful of spammers, but usually they have nothing in them, right? They're very vague in what they actually do. They have weird job titles, and they might have a very pretty picture of a girl, right? Be careful of those, right? That's not what you want to really look up.
Again, people keep recommending me, and I don't even know who they are. What's the story with that? Does it
Okay,
affect me negatively?
we'll get into that tomorrow, but recommendations, are you talking about endorsements? And endorsements are those things that people spam you with. Recommendations are when somebody actually took the time to write a paragraph.
I've never asked anybody to recommend me, and yet I get a bunch of recommendations.
Yeah, because they're asking. Maybe you're successful. So essentially, hashtag humble brag here. It gives a lot of recommendations, doesn't ask for it. So,
And we do have a LinkedIn group for this, USCC Training Institute, but it's really difficult. We're trying to keep it a closed group. Sometimes we get odd requests for people to join, so if you want to join that group, please let me know that you attended this session in a message.
Can
That'll make it a
you,
lot easier.
so tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to run the group. Can you give me the event group? And I don't know. But we'll set up class so everybody comes. And then we'll show you how to show off the annoying daily emails that you'll get from the group that you didn't want, right? Because that's usually what happens. He hasn't sent one in a while. Okay. Groups to help networking. Actually, while we're on this little group talk, is it smart to be in a lot of groups?
Yes.
Why?
Depende.
I think it gives you more leverage, and if you can go to the group settings at any time and monitor, where you want to be. You can be in the space of banking, for instance. In my scenario, I have a banking background. I can be in the nonprofit space. I can be in the Notre Dame space. So I think it just gives me the selection to decipher where I want to be at that moment.
And I think the key word is relevance. You want to be part of it, you want others to know.
Well, I think in interconnected world, that is an advantage. On the other hand, it becomes so massive that you have to devote your time to really manage properly because it can get out of hand and backfire on you. That's my.
It can if you allow it to.
Well, but it's time, and time is not. Nobody here has time.
Time is money, right?
Time is money.
And you can never get back time. You can always get back more money.
Right.
And you get a lot of email messages from them.
We're going to show you how to shut all that off tomorrow.
Very cool.
Yo nunca desarrollé mi grupo. Entonces, mi grupo está bien numerito, 190. Tengo 2000, no tengo más que 190 en mi grupo.
How do you think that your kids are going to get jobs? Do you think it's going to be Monster and Turbulent?
No.
Is it going to be your connections?
Yes.
Could be. I tell you what, in this day and age, especially when you're, and I'm on that, I'm 44, right? So probably 20 years left, maybe. You know, in my field, you know, especially in my field, it tends to go pretty rapidly. But you're going to need to search for jobs. You're going to need those connections out there, right? And your kids desperately need them. Right? And that's the thing with this. I used to scare the crap out of salespeople with this. It's like, no, I don't want to get on LinkedIn. I don't want to share my contacts because then other people will know them. Right? And I'm like, yeah, but the young salesman coming in underneath you, they're cold calling and knocking on doors that you probably have connections to already on the inside. And you're stonewalling those guys, and they're going to leave. If you share your connections, you probably know the people that you can get to. One of our executives, I have a social media rockstar program with our executives, and he had 47 connections on LinkedIn. He's now over 800. He's moving great in just a few months' time. And these are substantial senior leadership executive positions that he's connected to. It's fabulous for our company.
The interesting dynamic is a lot of inter-office requests. So if you're looking for a job, you don't want anyone to know, you better remember co-workers on the LinkedIn.
Yeah, but you shouldn't, I mean, you wouldn't put that on.
Well, I don't see it, searching for opportunities.
They're not very smart.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing about, technically wise, strategy to be able to be inside LinkedIn groups, if someone's searching for what you do, if you put your keywords, we're going to talk about how you're going to put keywords in tomorrow. If you put those keywords in and they're doing a search for your position, it'll search first, second, and third connections, and that's it. Any groups. So if you're in a group with somebody and they're doing a search for what you do, you'll come up. If there's no other way that you're connected, versus you having to be 3 away. Because if you're 4 away, you're not going to come up. But in a group, you can. Do you connect it to Twitter and Facebook with third-party applications? You want to save time? Nobody's really talking out there anyway. So why not hook up your Twitter? What you're using for in Twitter is business, which I recommend. Then there's no problem sharing back and forth. I don't see any problems with that.
So there's some good content on LinkedIn where you want to share a career piece of advice, key research, whatever. I've seen where I've shared it, people gravitate to it.
Oh yeah.
And it gets forwarded.
It's the same thing as Facebook. The more shares you get, you know, the more likes you get, it's going to bump it up higher in the overall algorithm. LinkedIn tips. Connections are everything. Connect to everyone you meet in business. Meet in business, right? Oh, he's awesome. That's awesome. Correct people's profiles and summaries for advanced search. We're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to go through what you think you should and shouldn't have inside of LinkedIn. Because I guarantee probably half this room has stuff like your name is a blank, 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 is a blank, 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 blank for a summary. And we just talked about elevator pitches. You know, this is where your 24/7 elevator pitch is going on. The best story you can think of to hook people in and get them to connect with you. And what did you use? You used the thing you wrote for your brain state. That's what the majority of people do. Tag others if you want to get their attention. Understand that there is a ton of reading and stalking. There's very little interaction. If you're a content creator inside of LinkedIn, you'll be well known quickly. Does that make sense? Paul?
Maybe answer it more tags.
How do you tag LinkedIn? Yeah, that's not right. Oh. Just like you do inside of Facebook, you add, and then if they're connected to you, you can tag them. So if you're connected to some of your wannabe clients or big time clients, and you've got good information for them, there's nothing wrong with tagging them. And they'll get an email notification from that as well. Have you ever used LinkedIn Pulse? No. So I'll show you how to use LinkedIn Pulse tomorrow. tomorrow, we'll set it up for your topics that you like, and you'll essentially be fed news that other professionals that you're connected with in LinkedIn will be sharing, right? LinkedIn is that area where this is heavy business. Should you be sharing personal stuff on LinkedIn?
No.
Don't do it. It's not worth it. There's other social networks for it. You're just annoying people.
Now, if you can find, for instance, I would say that in chambers of commerce, Latin chambers of commerce, most of the Facebook that popular sites tend to be people that are 40 and above, 40 years old. Another thing is applicable more to
What is it?
It's social media.
Is social media more for millennials?
Not for everybody, but social media tends to get in Twitter, these different groups. Facebook just cuts across, in our experience, and one region of the country, the Mid-Atlantic, cuts across all groups. Facebook is probably the largest user. In fact, I would say, in our chamber, our Facebook page now gets more attention than our web page. So there's a shift, even though we're trying to relate to you, and we post, we would say, we go to our web page to look at this article, we put it in through, it's still, we know where the purpose lies and where the future is. It's not web pages, but maybe, okay, we may be wrong. We can hear it.
I have a question for you about that personal stuff. Like, I ride motorcycles and I golf, and to me that's personal, but I do business with people who do those things.
Right.
So how would I not put the personal stuff?
But not in LinkedIn.
You wouldn't do that in LinkedIn?
Oh, no. Okay. If you go to my profile right now, you'll see me on my bike.
Exactly.
That's part of my personal brand. It's very specific, right? So if you want people to know you as the bike riding trusted leader of the community, right? Then that's okay, because that's how I want to be seen.
Okay.
Right? I'm okay with that. In fact, I would say that professional photos out on LinkedIn, the staticness of them drive me crazy. Because they're all the smiling head faces. And that's okay, but that just shows I'm in a stuffy business. So here's my stuffy business photo. Versus what you could show, which is part of your personality, if you want to. Right? But I also don't like the fact that people update. People are just updating, and then LinkedIn automatically kicks that update out. So you change your profile pic, and then all of a sudden all your friends are commenting on it because you changed it. Right? You can turn that off. We're going to turn it off tomorrow. Right? So you can mess with your entire LinkedIn profile, and you're not spamming all of your LinkedIn connections.
Yeah, Javier is not here yet. Okay, he will be coming soon. You can continue, but I need to find this list, this sign-up list for the afternoon. Please check the papers in front of you and next to you to see if you have a list that looks like this with a bunch of names on it, a bunch of signatures. It's around there someplace.
Okay.
It was passed around. We need to have that. Should have a bunch of signatures on it.
What is the number?
So, I don't have another one. So this has to be somewhere. It was passed around.
What are you?
Nobody leaves until we find it. Somebody leaves until we find it.
What is your name? Eunice.
Eunice Jones.
So yeah, no, I did not find it. Whoever finds it, yell bingo.
Facebook
Bingo! All right. So.
Gosh, it's there.
All right. So please make sure you sign this. Do not stick it with your other papers, okay? All right. So you can go ahead and tell me
You've not
yes.
seen that? That's a hashtag out there.
If you want to. If you want to continue and talk about some stuff till he gets here. Yeah, we're going to pass it around. If you have not signed it,
You have to look for your name.
make sure you check with us before you leave back there.
So we're going to get into, I'm going to pull up my LinkedIn profile. If you have your computers here, I'd love for you to dive into your LinkedIn profile right now. And I'm going to go through some of the basics that I want you to work on, change, look at, and evaluate. Okay? Until he gets here, I guess. Now, I move pretty quickly through these things, so if you have problems, yell out, and we'll try to get somebody over to help you. I didn't realize how big the room would be me when I was creating the course. So.
What is it?
Yes, you will have a copy of the presentation.
No enviar este.
You guys
Okay.
signed up
What is
already?
the?
Did you sign for the afternoon?
Yeah, that's my
My personal stuff, right? Okay, so when you first get into LinkedIn, this work?
Are we going to redo this exercise tomorrow?
No, we're not going to redo this exercise tomorrow. What we're going to do is I'm just going to hit on some of the basics until Javier shows up. Okay, so up here, we got our navigation. When you first log in, this information here is your news feed. So this right here is Pulse, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And that's underneath interests, and we'll show how that's going to work. Over here, people you may know, right? Should you click on these people and connect with them?
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm done.
By my hand or not?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Going.
My goodness, bright young students today. Good to see everybody. How's the course going so far?
Great.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, welcome to Salt Lake City. It's a wonderful day in Salt Lake, and it's really great to have everybody here. Nobody ever thought we would bring our convention to Salt Lake City. The largest gathering of Hispanic business leaders in the state's history, and you all are making that possible. Welcome also to all our friends from other communities, the African American community, the Asian community. I understand. Eunice, how are you? My name's Javier.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you are Asian, but you started nodding when I said Asian. I'm Hispanic. Nice to meet you. It's wonderful to have everybody with us. This is really the cornerstone of everything we do. Our job is to make sure that what you're doing in the marketplace is relevant and it's helpful to all of those Hispanic, African American, Asian, GLBT, and all the other small businesses in our country that are providing jobs. And I recognize, because I have to do it myself, how difficult your job is. And so I hope that you're enjoying your time here. I hope that you will get something out of this, because that is our number one hope. And we're going to do everything to make sure that you're proud of the affiliation that you have with the USACC, whether you've been with us for years or whether you're brand new to us. Our hope is that you will always have a home here and that you know that we are here to serve you. So welcome, and thank you for being with us. I think I have time for like 2 or 3 questions if anybody has questions. Not that I can guarantee an accurate answer, but I can try.
You're surprised. This is a great venue to have this.
It's not bad, right? It's not bad. This hotel is steeped in history. It was built for the Olympics, but many of the pieces were brought in from Europe, like the chandeliers you can see throughout the place.
You look great.
I do look good in this. But yes, thank you. The Grand America is the premier hotel in all of Utah, so we're very happy to host everyone here. Any? How are you? How are you?
How you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Great job.
Thank you.
How many are we expecting for the convention?
The indications are going to be it's something around 6,500 to 7,000.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the first. I think we broke the registration record, the registration revenue record, the hotel record. There's a couple of other records that we've already broken. And who would have thought that? I mean, I thought, okay, maybe we could beat Chicago, maybe we could beat Dallas, because that was my first time at that. But we're beating right now, we're beating Los Angeles and
wow.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys.
Thank you. How are you? Nice to meet
you. You at University of
Yeah, that's right. How are you?
Doing well. Is there a way that we as a small chamber can find a way to access some of the people that, businesses nationwide that you have access to, where we can?
Absolutely. We have, we have our matchmaking session here. We're hoping to break a record there this year as well. Last year we had Last year, we had 153 corporations, and we had 73 of them participate in the matchmaking session, and we had 87 business owners, and combined, it equated to 4,053 unique meetings within 48 hours between our chambers or our members and the big corporations. We're going to do the same this year here. We're looking to figure out a way to start bringing chamber leaders to those meetings so that the chamber leader can talk to the corporate entity and say, listen, I'm in the market, so if you're a bank or if you're a retailer and you're in the market that I'm in, is there something we could do to collaborate so that I can help you with your goals and you can help me with mine? And we're talking to 2 of our corporate sponsors right now to do that. Yeah. Anything else, Alfred? How you doing?
Very well.
Good to see you, man.
From Chicago.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be talking, right?
I just wanted to say, we both bringing 4 people in, including myself. We've signed up for 60 matches.
16?
60.
60. Goodness. Great. Congratulations. That's what deserves a... That's what we like to see. We like to see our business leaders meeting with the big corporations and the federal agencies, because that's where their contracts are. And that's what my job is, to make sure that those corporations keep the doors open and allow you guys an opportunity to pitch. So really glad to see that. And thanks to the folks at Grupo for the scholarship. It's not lost on me that you guys invested serious money, $50,000 in our foundation. So we're very, very happy for that. Thank you.